Joined to talk NBA by our Bobby Marks and Shanae Gwumake. Thanks for getting up with us this morning. Shanae, Steph had 38 last night. He was awesome, but the Warriors now just 3-11 over their last 14 games. Are they blowing their chance to get something out of Steph here toward the end of his career?
Look, if last night showed anything, time is not running out because Steph is still that guy. I mean, having an answer for nearly everything that the Los Angeles Lakers threw at him. He had 8 threes and a Christmas Day high 38 points. 8 of those points came in the final 25 seconds. The same way, though, that we saw the Warriors really take their time, especially with their Klay Thompson process, I expect sort of the same when it comes to trying to find a solution to maximize Steph Curry's prime. No one is going to pull off like a Christmas Day miracle this year and transport the Warriors from 10th in the West all the way to 1st in the West. It will need to happen in 2025, but again, I think time is on their side to figure that out, but it needs to happen in the calendar year of 2025.
Bobby, is there a move? Is there like a trade or something the Warriors can make here during the season to help solve their problems?
Well, Dan, they already did. They went out and got Dennis Schroeder, and they're 1-3 since getting Schroeder and putting him into the starting lineup. And they're going to be linked to Jimmy Butler over the next 5 weeks, certainly leading up to that February 6th deadline. I just think when I look at this Golden State team, I'm just looking at consistency. It's kind of in and out who plays each night. 17 different starting lineups in only 29 games. And I do think the window for Curry to win another championship is shrinking. Keep an eye on the next 6 games here. Certainly 5 out of 6 are at home. If you can't make up ground there, I think we could be talking about this Golden State team missing the playoffs completely. That includes the play-in here.
This is one of the teams that kind of started this whole 3-point barrage, right? This kind of started the whole 3-point system with Steph and Klay, and now you bring in certain personnel, and it is not the same. It's not the same shooting, and it looks bad when they lose because they're still hoisting these threes. They're still taking early shot clock threes, but now it's just kind of a different personnel. And when like I said, when you don't make the shots, it's glaring. You have an 11-point second quarter last night, and crazy to think this is the team that started off 12-3. And they are a deep team. They do have the principles. They do have the defensive systems down. They have the infrastructure to be a good team. But when you're taking so many early and often threes, and you're kind of the catalyst of changing the game, and you still want to play that system with the different personnel, there's going to be some nights where it's going to be bad. And Buddy Hield started off the season fantastic, averaging damn near 20 points, and now he's kind of tinkered off. Dennis Schroeder kind of is the new addition who was one of the biggest trade assets on the block in Brooklyn. Now he's got there for 6-7 games. He's been pretty bad since he's been on Warriors. So I think they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to plug and play different guys, but this is going to happen when you're a team that shoots so many early and often threes. Most of the time they make some of them. So it looked like even Steph, like he makes a lot of these shots. So it doesn't look as bad. But then when you have droughts like this, where you're shooting 33% from 3, you get exposed a little bit, especially then when they're giving up a lot of points on the other end. It's a recipe for disaster.
All right. So then the follow-up question is obviously, do they, sounds like they don't have enough. So then what's the trade that needs to happen here, Chandler?
I don't know if there's a trade right now, right? Like, yeah, I mean, I think Kuminga, I think it's known that he's their guy, right? He's kind of the guy in play. And we talk about maximizing Steph Curry. I don't know what the move is. Is it getting off Andrew Wiggins somehow and bringing something in? But what can you get for him? Does like a Zach LaVine, a Jimmy Butler, do they even really move the needle and make them a contender right now this year? I think they make them better. And I think there is some pieces that they can move that are attractive to other teams to kind of get a guy in there and kind of make use of this year. But this is kind of who we thought they were, right? The Lakers, the Clippers are kind of a middle of the pack team that are dangerous. They're explosive. And anytime you have a Steph Curry on your team, you have a fighting chance to win in every game. But scouting reports are different. Everyone, especially with this roster, everything is tailored to stop Steph Curry. So he's even forced to take crazier shots. He's still moving without the ball so much, but other guys are having to step up. They're in different roles that they're not used to. They play through Kuminga half the time he's in the game. Like, that's different for him. There's going to be some adjustment periods for him where he's going to have some struggles, but I don't know. I don't know what's the move that can put them over the edge right now, because I don't really see anything out there that's going to make them a contender right away.
That does not sound good. Lou, do you have any thoughts on that? Is there something that you would add, subtract?
Yeah, I don't see anything immediately. I think they ride this season out and they go into the off season and they try to regroup and rebuild around a Steph Curry led basketball team and just get a bunch of guys around, some fresh new energy, some guys that want to be there that would love to assist him in trying to win another championship, before he rides off into the sunset. But I don't think it's anything that they do immediately.
Michelle, you know what? Good
what?
news is we got Mike Dunleavy Sr. coming up, whose son is the GM, so we can ask him.
Maybe he'll give us some secrets that no one knows about yet. Just give it all away. Well, that's the thing is, like, Steph was asked about the team afterwards. His quote was, let the kids say we're very mid right now. So, they're average that at best, I suppose, Chandler. And I guess that's what we're saying, is that the Warriors are just average at best.
They are. And again, I think they have pieces that are attractive. They have a good system in place. They have Steph Curry. Draymond is healthy and available, but you can see the frustration is mounting. There's been some hot takes, some hot mic clips where there's definitely some tempers or flair in there, but that goes for every team. This is a long season. There's going to be ups and downs. Like I said, this team is a team that started off 12-3, and they've now lost 13 of their last 17. So this is a rough patch for them. They are deep, so they do have a lot of different options where they can plug and play certain guys. They can afford to lose a guy for a game or two. But yeah, they're very average. You look at their statistics on every offensive and defensive category. They are a middle of the pack to bottom team. They don't do anything really elite. But again, when you have Steph Curry and you have this championship DNA and you have Steve Kerr and you have that depth where you can go 9, 10, 11 deep, they're going to win a lot of games. They're not a championship team this year.
So as you see, the Golden State Warriors are in a little bit of a bad spot, and they definitely need to change it around if they want to be able to make the NBA playoffs. Because early on in this season, they were actually ranked second and actually even first at one point in the Western Conference, and they have fallen all the way actually to the 10th position. So when it comes to Golden State Warriors, they definitely need to make some big trades, and a big trade that has been definitely in the works and has been definitely on the cards as of lately has definitely been a trade package that could include Cameron Johnson and Domantas Sabonis coming to the Golden State Warriors. And I think this would honestly be a fantastic trade. They are looking to get both of them, but if they decide to do something like that, it would require, the Golden State Warriors to really trade everyone in order to make this happen. Now, Steph Curry is definitely untouchable, but I think every other player on this roster isn't, and I think everyone is up on the trading block if they want to make this team actually have a proper chance at winning an NBA championship. But going through this combo package that the Golden State Warriors and also ESPN analysts have talked about before, it is starting with Cameron Johnson, who's averaging 19.1 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. He's done a fantastic job for the Brooklyn Nets, and they did already get Dennis Schroeder from the Brooklyn Nets, but now they may look to get further and get someone else on those cards, which is his teammate Cameron Johnson. I think Cameron Johnson is a fantastic player. He's a definitely great wingman player, 3-and-D type guy, which the Golden State Warriors obviously love to get, but what I think he definitely does add is a lot of size to this team. In today's NBA, everyone loves to play small ball, but with someone like, Cameron Johnson, he is 6'8", can play that small forward position very well, and it'll definitely give him an advantage over these other teams. So because of that, I definitely see that being a big thing, and for Cameron Johnson to add that extra size, but also be that 3-and-D wing guy that Golden State Warriors or even Steph Curry could complement very well with, I think it will definitely be a great match there. Now, getting into the second part of that package was Domantas Sabonis. So, Domantas Sabonis, 20.8 points, 13.6 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. Fantastic player, as we all know. And he is also an NBA All-Star, 3 times at that, 2-time rebounding champion, and 2-time All-NBA. So, Sabonis has definitely been on a tear, not just this season, but over the last couple of seasons, really showing himself and showcasing why he deserves to be one of the best big men out there. He stands at 6'10", great player. And I think the Golden State Warriors could definitely use some extra size, but also some extra firepower with someone like Sabonis. The great thing about Sabonis, he is more of a scoring big, and right now when it comes to this Golden State Warriors team, they do have a lot more of inside sort of type bigs that can just finish around the ring. I think they definitely could use a score in that big man situation, and I think Domantas Sabonis could definitely be that guy, especially with the way he has been playing as of lately. He has actually been averaging almost 60% from the field goal, 59% is the exact number, and also shooting 42% from the three. So Sabonis should definitely be on their radar, and that is a big reason why a lot of ESPN analysts believe that the Golden State Warriors should definitely go after these two combos if they decide to go after a great deal package. Now, another name that definitely has been mentioned in the works is a superstar, but they would have to give up quite a lot, and that is Jimmy Butler. Now, it's still up in the air what the case is with Jimmy Butler. A lot of people saying he is going. A lot of people are saying that Jimmy Butler wants a trade, and Jimmy Butler himself has said time and time again that he may not want to get a trade. And so it's definitely a bit of an interesting one. We don't really know where Jimmy Butler goes from here, but he's still definitely on the cards, and the Golden State Warriors have actually called up, Miami Heat organization in order to work out a trade. So you wouldn't be surprised if you actually hear a trade maybe coming in the next couple of days or so before the trade deadline, that they do make a push towards Jimmy Butler, but it's definitely still on the cards there. But when it comes to the Golden State Warriors in general, they definitely have the right tools to be able to get there and be able to secure this and get a great trade that can help them lead into an NBA championship this season.